To understand the disease, you must first study the patient. Let me introduce you to Leo. If you were to build a perfect boyfriend in a laboratory, he would look a lot like Leo. At 31, he's a dedicated elementary school teacher, a man who radiates a genuine, gentle warmth. He's patient, he's empathetic, and he's the person his friends call when they need help moving. He believes, with the earnest conviction of a true disciple, in the gospel of niceness. Leo's philosophy of love is a simple, beautiful, and utterly flawed equation. Asterisk, my sacrifice is the proof of my love. Her happiness is the measure of my success. Asterisk. He enters every relationship, not as a partner, but as a supplicant. His primary goal is not to build a shared life, but to perfectly cater to hers. He sees conflict as a failure state, and a woman's displeasure as a personal indictment. He is, by every social metric, a catch, and he is chronically, bafflingly single. Let's watch him with Sarah. The beginning was a storybook. Sarah, a sharp, vibrant marketing manager, was initially captivated by what she called his calm, kind soul. After a string of arrogant, self-absorbed men, Leo felt like a miracle. He listened. He remembered the name of her cat. He always texted back immediately. He made her feel seen and cherished. The first crack in the foundation appeared a month in, so subtly that neither of them noticed. Leo had a long-standing weekly online gaming night with his college friends. It was his one real, non-negotiable social outlet. One Tuesday night, just as he was logging on, Sarah called, her voice heavy. She'd had a terrible, stressful day at work. The nice guy Leo heard only one thing: an opportunity to prove his worth. He immediately logged off, telling his friends something had come up. He spent the next 2 hours on the phone with Sarah, listening and soothing. He felt noble. He was being a good boyfriend, but a single dangerous message had been transmitted. Asterisk. My world, my commitments, my needs are instantly disposable in the face of yours. Asterisk. The second crack was the death of an opinion. From movies to restaurants, his mantra was always, whatever you want is fine with me. I'm happy as long as you're happy. He thought he was being easygoing. He didn't realize he was placing the entire burden of leadership for their shared life on her shoulders. It was exhausting. The final, fatal symptom was his complete aversion to conflict. She once brought up a minor frustration that he always left his wet towel on the bed. Instead of a normal conversation, Leo's face fell into a mask of wounded panic. He groveled and apologized profusely, as if had committed a mortal sin. He thought he was showing how much he cared. She saw a man with no spine. She started to pull away, and his nice guy programming went into overdrive. He suffocated her with his goodness. The more he tried to please her, the more she felt a creeping, inexplicable contempt. The man she once saw as kind, she now saw as weak. The relationship ended, leaving Leo in a state of profound confusion. A good man punished for his goodness, utterly blind to the fact that he hadn't been in a partnership. He had been in a performance, and the show had been canceled. The nice guy is not a benevolent giver. He is a secret accountant. Every act of kindness, every sacrifice, every accommodating gesture is not a gift. It is a deposit. He is quietly, meticulously adding up his good deeds in a hidden ledger, and he fully expects to cash it in. This is the psychological toxin at the very heart of his failure. The covert contract. The contract is an unspoken, unnegotiated, and deeply manipulative agreement that exists only in his mind. The terms are simple. Asterisk. I will be everything you want me to be. Agreeable, supportive, selfless. I will sacrifice my needs, my time, and my identity for you. In exchange, you will give me what I truly want, your approval, your affection, your loyalty, and you will never, ever leave me. Asterisk. This is not kindness. It is a transaction. It is a business deal disguised as a romance. And the woman feels the weight of this unspoken debt. Even if she cannot name it, she feels that his goodness has strings attached. His niceness is not a gift. It is a cage, beautifully decorated, whose bars are forged from her own sense of obligation. Let's look at Leo's sacrifice of his gaming night. On the surface, it was a selfless act, but beneath it, the secret accountant was at work. He made a deposit into the ledger. In his mind, that 2-hour phone call was a payment, a down payment on her future loyalty. He was not giving freely. He was buying insurance against her future displeasure. This is why a woman feels so suffocated by this kind of niceness. She senses that she is not being loved, but managed. His constant agreeableness is a strategy to control her reactions. His endless support is a tactic to make her dependent on him. He is not trying to build a genuine connection with her. He is trying to build a perfect, conflict-free simulation of a relationship where his emotional safety is guaranteed. The most dangerous part of the covert contract is what happens when she inevitably violates its terms she never agreed to. When she pulls away, when she asserts her independence, when she finally ends it, the nice guy does not feel heartbroken. He feels cheated. He feels like a business partner who has been embezzled. He pulls out his hidden ledger and screams, "But look at all I've done for you. After all my sacrifices, this is how you repay me?" In that moment, the mask of the nice guy falls away, and the frightened, manipulative accountant underneath is revealed. She is not a partner who has made her own choice. She is a debtor who has defaulted on a loan she never knew she had taken out. A relationship is a journey, and every journey needs a direction. The great, tragic error of the nice guy is his belief that by refusing to lead, he is being kind. He thinks his constant agreeableness is a gift. In reality, it is an act of profound cowardice, a refusal to accept the masculine responsibility of providing forward momentum. He leaves the throne of leadership empty, and then is baffled when his queen leaves the castle. This is the abdication of leadership. It is born from a deep-seated fear of conflict and disapproval. The nice guy reasons that if he never asserts a strong opinion, he can never be wrong. If he never charts a course, he can never be blamed for choosing the wrong destination. And so he adopts his signature, soul-killing mantra. Whatever you want is fine with me. Let's look at Leo. He believed he was offering Sarah a gift, the gift of choice. In reality, he was handing her a burden, the burden of constant decision-making. At first, for a woman like Sarah, who was used to fighting for her preferences, this was a relief. But soon, the weight of being the sole engine of their shared life became exhausting. She had to decide which movie to see, which restaurant to go to, what they would do every single weekend. She was not his partner. She had become his cruise director, his social planner, and the CEO of their leisure time. This is not a partnership. It is a parent-child dynamic. He, the agreeable child, waits for her, the responsible parent, to create the structure of their life. This is the absolute death of sexual polarity. By refusing the masculine role of leader, he forces her to occupy it. She cannot lean back into her feminine energy and trust his direction, because he has no direction. She cannot look up to a man who is constantly looking to her for a map. The contempt that follows is inevitable. She does not see an easygoing man. She sees a passive one. She does not see a kind man. She sees a man with no convictions, no passions, and no drive of his own. She is in a relationship with a mirror, a man who has erased his own desires to reflect hers, and the reflection is profoundly, crushingly boring. So ask yourself, when she asks you, "What do you want to do?" and you reply, "Whatever you want," are you being agreeable? Or are you a king refusing to rule his own kingdom? Are you a partner? Or are you a passenger waiting for a tour guide? A man's worth is not a question he asks of the world. It is a statement he makes to it. His self-esteem is a fire he builds himself, log by log, through his own actions, his own discipline, his own integrity. The nice guy does not build his own fire. He stands shivering in the cold, holding out an empty cup, begging a woman to fill it with the warm liquid of her approval. This is his cardinal sin, the sin of seeking validation. He does not do good things because he believes they are good. He does them in the desperate hope that she times will see him doing them and pronounce him good. His every action is a performance for an audience of one. He is not a man living a life. He is an actor on a stage, constantly looking out into the darkness for the flicker of a single pair of hands clapping. This is why your niceness feels so hollow to a woman. She senses that it is not a genuine expression of your character, but a carefully calibrated transaction designed to purchase her approval. She is not your partner. She is your primary source of self-esteem, a job she never applied for and does not want. Let's look at Leo's pathetic, groveling apology over the wet towel. What was he really saying? He was not saying, "I am sorry for this minor inconvenience." He was screaming, "Please, tell me I am still a good boy. Please reassure me that I have not failed the test. Please validate my existence." He was not a man taking responsibility. He was a child begging his mother not to be angry with him. This is the most terrifying burden you can place on a woman. By making her the sole arbiter of your self-worth, you make her responsible for your happiness. You have taken your own fragile, empty cup and demanded that she keep it full. This is not attraction. This is psychic vampirism. It forces her into a maternal role, and a woman cannot be a mother and a lover to the same man. A woman is drawn to the man who has already built his own fire. She wants to be near its warmth, to share in its light, not to be the one endlessly tasked with gathering the kindling to keep him from freezing. So you must ask yourself the most difficult question of all. When you do something nice for her, is it a free and sovereign gift from a man who is already whole? Or is it a desperate payment from a man holding out an empty cup, hoping she will finally, mercifully, pour a few drops of her approval into it? You believe conflict is the poison that kills a relationship. You are wrong. Conflict, the honest friction between two sovereign wills, is the fire that forges it. The greatest and most seductive lie the nice guy tells himself is that a relationship without conflict is a successful one. He dedicates his life to building a perfectly smooth, frictionless, and agreeable world for his partner. He does not realize he is building a beautiful, comfortable, and utterly sterile prison. This is the illusion of safety. It is born from a man's absolute terror of a woman's negative emotions, her frustration, her anger, her disappointment. These are not, to him, normal parts of a human life. They are catastrophic failures, siren alarms that signal his own inadequacy. And so he dedicates himself to becoming an emotional bomb disposal technician, his life's work to ensure she never, ever has a reason to be unhappy with him. Look at Leo's reaction to the wet towel. Sarah was not launching an attack. She was building a boundary. She was offering a moment of minor, healthy conflict. A strong, grounded man would have met this friction with ease. He would have seen it as a simple negotiation between two partners. But Leo, the man terrified of conflict, saw it as a bomb. His groveling, his self-flagellation, was a frantic attempt to cut the wire. This creates the opposite of the intended effect. He thinks he is making her feel safe. In reality, he is making her feel profoundly times unsafe, asterisk. She learns, in that moment, a devastating truth about him. Asterisk. This man is too fragile to handle my real emotions. Asterisk. She cannot bring him, her authentic self, her frustrations, her bad moods, her imperfect truths, because his ego is a house of cards and a single, honest breath might blow it all down. She is now forced to manage not only her own emotions, but his reaction to her emotions. She must walk on eggshells, not for fear of his anger, but for fear of his collapse. This is not partnership. This is a hostage situation, where the hostage is his own fragile sense of self-worth. A woman is not drawn to the man who offers a life without conflict. She is drawn to the man who can stand in the fire of her emotions without being burned, the man who can hear her anger without crumbling, the man who can meet her frustration with his own unshakable calm. That is true safety. The nice guy doesn't offer a harbor. He offers a beautifully decorated vacuum, a space devoid of all friction, all truth, and ultimately, all life. You believe that she wants a man who is just like her best girlfriend, but with the added benefit of a physical relationship. This is another beautiful, comforting, and utterly fatal lie. Desire does not ignite between two identical poles. It sparks across a gap, a tension, a thrilling and sometimes frightening difference. This is the law of sexual polarity, and the nice guy is its greatest enemy. Think of it as a magnet. Attraction is the powerful, invisible force that pulls the North Pole to the South. It is a force born of opposition. The nice guy, in his desperate quest for harmony and approval, commits the ultimate act of anti-seduction. He neutralizes his own polarity. He works tirelessly to erase the very differences that create attraction. How does he do this? By becoming a perfect mirror for feminine energy. He becomes the ultimate emotional processor. He is the patient listener, the nurturing supporter, the endlessly empathetic confidant. He absorbs her emotions without challenge. He validates her every feeling. He becomes her safe space for venting. He thinks he is building intimacy. He does not understand that he is systematically degendering himself in her eyes. Look at Leo. He transformed himself into Sarah's primary emotional support system. He became the human diary into which she could pour all her anxieties and frustrations. He successfully made himself the safest person in her life. In doing so, he ceased to be a man she could desire and became a man she could use times as a therapist, as a cheerleader, as a sister in arms. He became her brother. A woman feels comfortable with her brother. She feels safe with him. She may even love him. But she does not feel the raw, electric, gut-level pull of desire for him. He is not the exciting, slightly dangerous, masculine other. He is familiar. He is safe. He is one of the girls. The great tragedy is that you achieve exactly what you set out to do. You work tirelessly to eliminate any tension, friction, or mystery between you. You succeed, and then you are baffled when the sexual spark, which requires that very tension to survive, is extinguished. You have created a relationship that is as comfortable, as safe, and as sexually charged as a friendship between two sisters. You have worked so hard to become her confidant, her therapist, her best friend. Are you truly surprised that she now treats you like one? You were not born a nice guy. You were manufactured. You are the product of a massive, decades-long social experiment, a soldier meticulously trained with a faulty manual for a war you were never meant to win. The society that sells you the beautiful lie of the nice guy is the same society that looks the other way when that lie leaves you broken and alone. From your earliest childhood, the programming began. Be a good boy. Don't fight. Share your toys. Put others first. These were not lessons in virtue. They were the first stages of your domestication. The modern education system rewarded your compliance. The media fed you a steady diet of romantic comedies where the self-sacrificing, endlessly patient man finally gets the girl, a cinematic fantasy that never shows the soul-crushing contempt that follows the final credits. This is the great and brutal gaslight. The culture bombards you with a single, relentless message. To be a good man, you must systematically dismantle your own masculine polarity. You must be less assertive, less decisive, less challenging. And you, in your desire to be good, obey. You perform the surgery on yourself. Then you enter the real world and discover a horrifying truth. The very qualities society demanded you erase are the very qualities that ignite a woman's primal respect and desire. The support systems that should help you are complicit in the lie. A man like Leo, heartbroken and confused, goes looking for answers. What does he find? His friends, meaning well, offer him empty platitudes. You're a great catch. She just wasn't the one. Therapy might diagnose the symptom, his anxious attachment, but miss the disease. His complete and total abdication of self. He is given more of the same poison, told to be even more communicative, more accommodating. Society has handed you a script for a play that attraction itself refuses to watch. It demands you become a safe, sterile, and predictable creature. And then is baffled when a woman, acting on 1 billion years of biological programming, turns away in boredom and seeks out a man who has not yet been neutered by the cultural lie. Your confusion is not a sign of your brokenness. It is a sign that you are a sane man living in an insane asylum of contradictory expectations. You are being punished not for a personal failing, but for being the perfect, obedient student of a profoundly sick culture. The diagnosis is complete. You have seen the sickness for what it is. Now, we begin the painful but necessary surgery. To escape the prison of your own niceness is not about becoming a different person. It is about becoming the man you were before the fear took root. This is not a list of tips. This is a strategic plan for your own liberation. Asterisk, asterisk. Stage 1. The confession. Call the poison by its name. Asterisk, asterisk. The first step is a brutal act of self-honesty. You must stop using the word nice. It is a lie. It is the beautiful label you have placed on your own terror. You must look in the mirror and say the truth aloud. My niceness is a strategy. It is a performance. It is a manipulation born from my crippling fear of disapproval and abandonment. You are not a good man. You are a frightened man. You are not a giver. You are a secret accountant. This confession is the moment you stop being the victim of your own goodness and start being the architect of your own cure. Asterisk, asterisk. Stage 2. The detox. Burn the covert contract. Asterisk. You must now go to war with the secret accountant in your head. For the next 30 days, you will operate under a new, radical principle. You will do nothing for her that you do not genuinely, freely want to do. You will give no gifts, offer no support, and make no sacrifices with even the slightest expectation of a return. Before you act, you will ask yourself one question. Am I doing this out of love or out of a desperate need for her to approve of me? If the answer is the latter, you do not do it. This will be excruciating. It is the beginning of killing your addiction to her validation. Asterisk, asterisk. Stage 3. The reclamation. The practice of no and I want. Asterisk, asterisk. You will now begin the process of rebuilding your own kingdom. Start small. The next time she asks, "What do you want for dinner?" you will not say, "Whatever you want." You will have an opinion. You will say, "I am in the mood for Thai." You will state a desire, a preference, a direction. You will reclaim your Tuesday night when she asks for your time during that sacred slot. You will practice the most powerful words a recovering nice guy can learn. "I'd love to see you, but that is my time. How about Wednesday?" You will state your boundary calmly, without apology. You are not rejecting her. You are demonstrating that your world has a border. Asterisk, asterisk. Stage 4. The fire test. Walk toward conflict. Asterisk, asterisk. The final and most terrifying stage is to stop running from her displeasure. You must embrace minor, healthy conflict as a necessary fire. The next time she is frustrated with you over something small, you will not grovel. You will not collapse. You will stand your ground, breathe, and meet her emotion with your own calm center. You will listen, and then you will respond like a man, not a frightened child. You will say, "I understand you're frustrated. Let's solve this." You will show her, through your unshakable calm, that you are not afraid of her. You will prove that her emotions are not a bomb that can destroy you. This is the moment she will finally see a pillar where a vine once stood. This is the moment she will finally feel safe. The war is over. The frantic, desperate performance has ended, and the curtain has fallen. The first thing you will notice is not a thunderous applause from the world, but a profound and unnerving silence in your own mind. The voice of the secret accountant is gone. The anxious pleading of the validation seeker is gone. The terror of the conflict avoider is gone. This quiet is the sound of your own soul returning home. This is your rebirth. And the man who is reborn is not a bad boy. He is something far more powerful. A good man who is no longer afraid. Your kindness, once a cheap currency you threw at people in exchange for their approval, is now a bar of solid gold. It is a gift you give freely from a place of genuine strength, not a transaction made from a place of fear, because you are no longer afraid to say no. Your yes now has a weight and a meaning it never had before, because you are no longer terrified of conflict. Your peace is not the fragile stillness of a vacuum, but the deep, unshakable calm of a mountain. You will feel the world react to this new gravity. The woman who once felt suffocated by your niceness will now feel a thrilling sense of relief in your presence. She no longer has to carry the burden of your emotional well-being. She no longer has to be your mother, your therapist, and your cruise director. She is free. Free to be your partner, your lover, your first mate. The contempt she felt for the jester will be replaced by a deep, primal respect for the king. Your boundaries will not push her away. They will make her feel safe because they are proof that you have a spine, a center, a kingdom whose walls will not crumble in a storm. The sexual polarity you so thoroughly erased will begin to spark and crackle back to life. Not because you are being an asshole, but because you are finally, unapologetically, a man. You are still Leo. You are still the kind teacher, the loyal friend, but you are a Leo who makes it to his Tuesday night game. You are a Leo who, when asked what he wants for dinner, has an opinion. You are a Leo who can hear a woman's frustration without collapsing into a puddle of apologies. You are no longer too good. You are simply good, and you are finally whole. The performance is over. Your life has begun.